Good morning from Japan. It is 7 a.m., so we're back at it. I suppose happy evening to all of you in the States or Canada. Um, Today, we're just continuing onward. This is the end of week 1, start of week 2. Um, I I'm not super confident. For anyone who is in my Discord over the week, or has seen my Instagram, I had a major problem where after that first stream, all that progress I did the first stream went bye-bye. It's not that I didn't back up, like it doesn't matter whether I had backed up or not, apparently. Like I had hit some key and it had gotten rid of everything. I don't know what magic key I hit because how do you get rid of all of the I don't know. I truly do not know, but I ended up deleting all like 5,000 words by accident. So, and trying to like I didn't save anything. I didn't save that deleted file, but it didn't matter. When I reloaded the file, it was still missing. So I do not know how that's even possible. Like I even talked to my tech dad, he didn't get it either. He's like, "How is that? That must be a glitch." So I just hit a glitch apparently, and bye-bye to all my progress. So I had to restart at like on Tuesday. I had to restart everything again. And some parts are better because I was able to get something about my main character Alex to be revealed earlier on, but I still think it's kind of useless because I don't feel super confident in using a narrator. I thought it was a really good way for me to do this, but I'm second guessing myself a lot because I don't feel super comfortable right now with how it's reading out. I don't think the narrator's doing what I want it to do at all. I think it's too weirdly detached from the character. And this was my worry. I was worried that having a narrator would be too detached. It would detach you too much from the character, would distance you too much from the character. One of the main reasons I wanted to have a narrator, though, is it would give me the ability to jump from like seeing what Alex was doing to being able to see a bit of Kai's life and have those two stories kind of simultaneously together while having this overarching something that was drawing it all into one story. But now I feel like that narrator just doesn't work. Um, it's just too distant, and I don't know. I also, to be fair, I usually use a technique in short story format for quite a bit before I try to utilize it in a full novel format. So that's probably what happened. I probably, because I haven't experimented a ton with narration. So I haven't really practiced it in short story format a ton first. So I have zero confidence in this technique. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna keep writing it for now. I'm still in section 1. I'm still in the very first chapter. So I haven't gotten to completely new content yet. So I feel like I need to get to the new content. So I've got a bit more of where I am now before I get to that new content. And I feel like writing that new content and attempting to write it completely from scratch with the narrator should show me whether or not I want to keep going with this. But my gut instinct is this isn't working and I need to completely reassess what I'm doing, which is not ideal because it means possibly that I've wasted time. And I hate that. So I don't know. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I feel like I'm not looking at this correctly. I don't know. So today I'm just going to kind of keep at it, but I'm going to be transparent. I don't have a lot of motivation right now because I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and I don't know what else to do right now. So I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and enter a sprint. So we're going to do a 30-minute sprint. I usually do 30-minute sprints, and there'll be like a small talking section. It'll usually only be 5 minutes. So we're just gonna get into it. I have to do 2 hours of work, so that's going to be 4 sprints. So regardless of how much I talk, we have to do 4 sprints today. So we'll see how long this stream goes on. So we're gonna just go ahead and start. See you in 30 minutes. All right, and we are back. I was trying to find notes. I cave. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know where some of my notes are. I know I have notes for my secondary main lead Kai. Can't find the notes. I know I've got to have them somewhere. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, I have no confidence to set it right now. I'm really struggling. I got some stuff done though. I started writing a new scene. It's not going great. And Sheraton is here. I feel like days like this test us, but it's a necessary evil. When we look back, we can see how much we overcame in the writing process. I hope so. I don't feel like I'm overcoming anything. I'm second guessing every sentence. I would type something and then delete it. I don't know. I feel like I'm wondering if my skill set isn't high enough level to do this edit, because I don't know which it is. I don't know if the answer is that the narrator shouldn't be a thing, if I shouldn't be trying to do a narrator, or if I'm just too low level to create something like that. If my vision for the book is higher than my skill set is right now, which is possible. I don't know. But at the same time, like I said earlier in the stream, like I have never actually tried to write with a narrator before, so I have no actual experience. So I'm trying to learn it and also edit a massive project at the same time, and I think it's too much. I don't think I can do a completely new technique while editing. I really don't. I think I have a bad feeling I would need to completely stop what I'm doing and like just do a bunch of practice writing in short story format with narrators and get a handle on narrating process before I try it in a project this massive. Because right now this project's too big. That was my worry. My worry was that it wasn't going to feel right and that I'd have a moment where I had to decide whether I was going to keep going and try anyway, or if I was going to cold stop and just go back to a regular editing process. I don't have any confidence where I am right now. I have negative confidence, really. I don't feel like the narration is working as is. I don't know how to make it better right now. And also, I don't even know if this is the right, like, even if I were to stop and do a bunch of research or stop and do a bunch of practice writing to get the handle on narration, what if that's not even going to work anyway? It still might not be the answer for where I am in my editing. So it might not matter. Whether I learn that process or not might not even matter. And I don't know exactly which path to go on, because I hate feeling like I've wasted my time the last couple days, because my time is precious to me and I have so little of it. But at the same time, like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know, like, okay, let me think about what my actual choices are. My actual choices are I either keep going as I am, even though I'm not completely comfortable with it, or I stop trying to do the narrator and I just start doing traditional editing. Those are my two options right now. Is just to pretend the editor doesn't exist right now and just edit, create the scenes I need to create, do the stuff I need to do with no editor, with no narrator, just do editing. I think I might have to do that. I think I might jump to that for now, which sucks because I feel like I'm just going to have to go over this all over again if I do think that I need a narrator. because you have to incorporate the narrator, right? You mean I'd what? I'd because. I'd what? Which thing? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the narrator might not be the right choice. Maybe that isn't the way to get the stories converged. Maybe I should just have it so I would just write both characters in regardless. I felt originally, here was my thinking. Originally, that the presence of a narrator, this was my theory. Originally, having a narrator would help make it coherent story, despite the fact that at the beginning I need to show both Alex and Kai. And so pretty much originally, the original draft that I'm working with right now only focuses on Alex. But I realized when I got feedback that there was no real good way to show more of Kai outside of what Alex was saying. It was too narrow of a vision in order for what I was trying to do. So I realized that you actually do need to see Kai's path to a certain extent simultaneously. The problem with that is I felt like it would be too disjointed, I guess. I know writers do this all the time where they have two characters they switch between, but I don't know. I just was worried that it'd be too disjointed, but I thought if I had a narrator, because the narrator was remaining consistent, that would kind of marry the two storylines a lot easier. But now I feel like the narrator's just awkward. And I'm second guessing all of my decisions. Did you write an entire piece and now you're incorporating narrator on top? Yeah, that's the thing. So the original piece, there's no narrator. It's just third person point of view. And it's focused, originally it was focused solely on Alex, the main character. But now I realize that the secondary main character needs to be just as much of a main character. And so I need to have the stories going simultaneously. I'm not super confident in that either, but I'm more confident in just like a regular style third person than I am trying to do a narrator. Because a narrator is its own whole thing. And I knew that when I started this. So there was a certain part of me that was like, okay, I know I don't have a ton of practice. And by a ton, I mean, I have zero. I have zero practice at this technique. So it might not work. But yeah, that's where I may be struggling on because of the perspective. Have you thought who or what the narrator is? Yes, I have. So I've done a character chart with the narrator. So I know the narrator. I think originally I thought one of the problems that of me being uncomfortable with the narrator was the fact that I wasn't rewriting enough. So, but now I'm writing an entirely new scene that's never been written before. So I'm writing something from scratch using the narrator, and it's a little bit better. But it's still, I don't know, there's something about it. I wonder if it's the tonality, because it totally throws the tone off a lot. Like it's a very different vibe coming from a narrator than when it was third person. And I think I'm not gelling with that vibe at all. And I don't know what to do, because if I make it more as if this is being told, because the narrator is one of the aliens, actually, and they're going to have a slightly different perspective. And the reason I did that is I wanted a creature who would be looking at literally every aspect of the memories that they're saying, because to them, it's all information they didn't have before. So nothing would be too small to notice, which would allow me to showcase things as fully as possible in theory. The problem with that, though, is it's almost clinical at times, and that's not quite right. But if I go the opposite way and put too much personality with this narrator, then it just feels a little like it's a little too whimsical for the tone I'm trying to do, because I'm writing a science fiction fantasy, but there is a decent portion of science fiction in there too. So I'm like, I just don't feel the voice is right. I don't feel the tone is right, and I don't know how to fix it. So I just kind of feel like everything I've done is wrong, and I'm doing it wrong, and I don't know the right way to do it. So I kind of just want to give up and just go back to normal editing and just not really change very much of the structure at all. But I don't think that's going to solve my main problems with the edit, because it's like I could spend months just fixing the smaller things, but one of the major problems is I need to showcase more of the world. I need to showcase more of the setup. I need to showcase more of the relationships between characters as they're progressing. And I'm not super confident on the best method to do that. So that's where I am right now. Sorry, that was a long rant no one really asked for. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure you guys are dealing with your own problems, but maybe the alien might not be the right narrator. That's the thing too. Like, is it just the kind of narrator I'm dealing with? But like, what other narrator could I use? What other character could be a narrator? Because I don't want to go to first person. I don't feel like that's, I don't know. No problem. Helps us understand you better. I don't understand me right now. I'm unsure about everything. I just have no confidence today. I mean, it doesn't help the fact that like last night I had a major depressing episode. So like I do not feel great today. I haven't felt good since yesterday. So that's probably not helping, because I started out with not the greatest frame of mind. That's probably affecting how I'm seeing my work right now. But still, like I've felt unsure of the narrator since I started. So I love the idea, but I don't think it's working in practice right now. And that could be a variety of factors. So I think if I look at it very, very logically, of just like, what do I need to do? What do I actually need to do right now? I either keep pressing despite being unsure, or I just junk that idea entirely for the moment and start working on a different part of the edit. And I think I'll do that for now. I think I will write out the rest of the scene I'm currently writing and see how I feel. I was also reading it out loud to myself, and that was also helping a little bit, but oh my God. Well, we're at a good mark, so we're going to go ahead and do another 30-minute sprint. So I will see you guys in 30 minutes, I guess. See how it goes. Sorry, I unclicked my thing for a second there. Oops. Hey, welcome back. How'd you do in that sprint? I feel better having junked the narrator for the time being. I was able to write a lot more freely. I really do feel like that add-in of the narrator is just something I don't have a skill set for. I think that's what it is. Because my writing started picking up. So that was it. So right now, I think I'm in a place where I do not have the skill set for that concept. And I don't have enough practice and stuff like that. So I'm, at this point, I should probably create a skill tree for myself, kind of like you would for like a character leveling up in a game. And then I should just like put narration in big letters on one of the skills. Eventually, I do want to be able to write like that, like have a narrated story where there's a clear narrator telling this tale. But I've just never messed with that before, so I just don't have the skills for it. So it's something that I will have to practice. So for now, I think I will ditch the idea of the narrator, which does mean I need to go back and fix stuff again. I hate that, but I hate it less than the idea of pushing forward with a narrator, even though I'm not comfortable with it, and then having to junk all of it. So, I mean, I guess it's best that I figure it out now. Also, we were joined by 1,000 Great Books. Just finished the job in Open Docs, staring at the cursor. Just started, so only 40 words. Yep, that's okay. I definitely need that. I sometimes feel like I'm not cut out for the type of narration that I'm going for. That's the thing. Like, depending on what you're doing, and I guess this makes sense because it's like when people say that they're bad at writing short stories, I always ask them how much they've tried and how many short stories they've read. And usually there's like a deficiency in one of those. Like they haven't read very many short stories outside of school, which I'm going to be real. I don't know how much those count because I feel like a lot of the short stories I read in school, I hated. I'm sorry, I just did. I didn't start loving short story format until I started reading it on my own. That's when I started falling in love with the format. But you need experience in reading it, consuming it, first off. And secondly, you need practice in trying it yourself on projects that aren't super important, like things you're just messing around with, just to mess around with it. Just so you can experiment and expand and just try, right? And for me, the things that I am most confident in are, of course, things that, one, I read that format a lot, and two, I've used it within short stories a lot too. So those are things that I have a ton of practice on because I'm using them all the time. And that makes logical sense. And I hadn't, for some reason, like, to a certain extent, I knew that trying to do a narrator was going to be tricky because I've never tried writing that before. So I knew I was deficient in that skill set. But I didn't think it would be quite this hard. Like, I do think that it's its own thing. Just like short stories are their own thing. They're not the same thing as writing a novel. In the same way, writing from the perspective of a narrator is a whole thing. And I just do not have the skill set to manage it. I sometimes open one of my favorite books on a random page and check out the different ways good authors write, like different sentences and stuff. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I have a copy of Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland has a narrator. It's narrated. A lot of people, I don't think, realize that. And this story I'm writing right now, this novel, Project Clockwork, is inspired by, there are elements of Wonderland within this story. So I thought I could use that as kind of a help of like what it looks like to have a narrator. And yet it just doesn't feel right. So I think I just need a lot of practice, and I need to read a lot more things that have narrators, because off the top of my head, the only two I know of that I've read and really enjoyed that like narrators are Alice in Wonderland. Well, three, because if you think about the original Winnie the Pooh story, that also has a narrator. I do believe The Hobbit is narrated. It might be. Is The Hobbit narrated? Because I feel like the tonality for that is very personal, but I don't, maybe no. Maybe no. Anyway, and there was one more. I can't remember the name of the book, but it takes place during the Holocaust, and it's from the perspective of death. Death tells the story. It's a really, really good book. But is it The Book Thief? Maybe. So the way I'm writing my book is via ways of ideolect, in that it starts simple and childlike and gets more complex as characters grow. The problem is I'm at a stage where I've maxed out my skill. That sounds really difficult. That sounds insanely difficult. I don't think I've ever read a story like that before. I think, yeah, The Hobbit is narrated. It's not first person as far as no, it's not. It's not first person. It is third person, but I'm trying to remember if there is like a clear narrator, like an actual person telling the story, or because I know in Lord of the Rings they sort of had it as a device, but it was more in the movie actually than in the book itself. But there was a device they used for the movie of the Lord of the Rings where it's as if it's being written down by Frodo, except that doesn't really track very well either, because there are entire moments that are being told that Frodo wasn't there. Like the fellowship splits up pretty early on, so that it, like, I can see where they were trying to do that device, but it doesn't really work in actuality the whole way through, because it just doesn't work. I'm almost certain The Hobbit is narrated and the narrator is ominous. That's the thing. I think so too, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think you guys are right. I think that's because I swear it's been a while since I've read The Hobbit, and I don't have a copy. I used to have a really, really nice copy, and I gave it to a friend because it was heavy and big, and I was not carting that to Japan. So I gave it to a friend. But yeah, I haven't read it in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think it just is. It's a skill I lack. I feel like this is just something that, if I want to try this in the future, which maybe a future version of this project does need, I don't know, maybe it would benefit from a narrator, but I'm just not at a point where I have that skill set where I could do that. And trying to force myself to do something that I don't have a skill set in right now is just stressful. It makes me not want to edit. It makes me not want to come on here. It makes me not want to do any of this. It makes me feel super, super depressed because I feel like I'm slamming my face into the wall. And editing is hard enough as is. I don't need to be forcing myself to do something I have no experience in. So I'm going to pull it back to editing. And I am going to try to hit the larger problems, but I'm going to try to do it in a more traditional third person sense. Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce has the Edel Attic. I feel like I've read that. Ooh, one of my crows left the building. I need to pick him up off the floor. He just fell. I feel like I've read that, but I don't think I enjoyed it. But that might have just been James Joyce's style has never been my thing. So that's probably why. Third person limited. Sorry, it's the artist, not an artist. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I think I have read, I don't know if I've read that one by James Joyce. I've read something from James Joyce. I don't remember what it was, but I remember not liking it and just thinking to myself, yeah, I don't think I'll read this author again. But that's just me. That's just me. Just not my personal style, I guess. All right, it's another good mark for a 30-minute. So we're going to do the third sprint. We're about halfway through this. So I will see you guys in 30 minutes. All right, and we are back. How'd you do in that sprint? Hopefully okay. We had a stream hopper for a second. Hey, I don't know if you're still here, but hi. Thank you very much for hitting the like button. And a little reminder to everyone, please hit the like button if you would like, if you could. It really does help this show up in feeds. My channel is notorious for not showing in feeds, even though people are subscribed. So if you could help the algorithm, that would be fantastic. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm getting a lot of space covered. I'm at the 1,000-word mark in the new scene alone, not counting the previous stuff I was working on. So decent progress. Oh, and I'm getting an alarm going. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have another person coming in. Hello, welcome. What project are you working on? How are you doing? Oh, and Angela is still here. Hello, you're still here. Hi, what are you guys working on today? Are you doing editing or are you doing a completely new project? That's great. I had 269 that time. Wonderful. Awesome. RA, hi. Hi, guys. Swinging by on my way to finish cleaning the house. Good luck with editing and writing. Good luck with cleaning. I need to do the dishes, so I feel you. I am very tired today, so I don't know how much I am able to get done. 90 words, but I'm getting a feel for it. So good. Yes. So long as you're getting into it. We're going to do one last sprint. And honestly, I think I'm just going to jump us in. I know we just finished a sprint, but I have one more sprint to do and I am exhausted. So I just need to push to get this done for today. Maria said, doing well, working on a 30-story anthology. Oh, nice. So short stories. Short stories are so fun. I love doing short stories. Angela, determined to finish this draft of book 2 this month. Godspeed. That's hard to finish up projects. Yeah, defo go. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do it. Because the last sprint, every place I go, yeah. Yeah, we're going to do one last one in a sec. I need to clean to get over the fact that I removed. I feel that. I feel that. I just ditched a major concept and idea. I finally let it go. And it means I have to go back and do some stuff over. So the stress and de-stress. I feel ya. I feel ya on. Okay, you guys ready? We're going to do another 30 minutes. I'll see you in 30. I did it again. I accidentally unclicked our video. Okay, welcome. How'd you do on that sprint? How do you feel about today? Because that was the last sprint we're doing today. I hope it was good for you guys. I got a lot done, I guess. I don't know. I kind of feel weird because I know I need to go back now, but I still got some forward progress done on one of the scenes. So I think overall I got stuff done and I made some important decisions. So overall, I think it was a good thing. And it is storming now. We just got thunder. We don't usually get thunder here in Japan. So that's kind of interesting. So it's storming. I'm really hoping it passes by in the next like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So I don't have to walk in it to work. I love the sound of storming rain. I do not like walking in it. Walking is not fun. 292 for me. I've crossed 1K for the day. I'm over in Cowbrows now. I don't know what Cowbrowns is. Is that a location in your book? Better 210 words. Better is good. Yes. We're getting there. Oh my gosh. I am drained. I am having a harder time focusing now. I've had to be doing this a lot. You see me messing with something. Another YouTuber. Oh, nice. I don't think I know that YouTuber. I'll have to check him out. There are a lot of content creators I don't know. Algorithms are such trash. Every once in a while I try to find new people and they just will not show on my feed at all. It only shows like the top people, which I don't watch. So it's frustrating. So yeah, I know I need to see. I know there are some playlists going around of like indie authors and things like that that are doing events. I need to look up some of those playlists when I have time. That's always the problem, when I have time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and listening to my rant about all the troubles I was having with my story. I think we got some good progress done today. Tomorrow, sprints are going to be in my Discord. I will see if I can leave a link in the comments and also post a community tab thing with a link because the link will have expired from last time. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I wish you guys all the best of luck on your projects. I love the calendar behind you. Yes, this calendar is... Who did this calendar? I actually don't know. Dark Forest Lunar Calendar. I don't know what company did it. Looks like indie printing of some kind. Likely. I get a lot of indie stuff. Be safe getting to work. Creative blessings. See you. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you either in the Discord tomorrow, same time, or I will see you next week for the next live check-in. Thank you guys so much. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.